passing of Chief Justice Rehnquist raises new questions over the Supreme Court nominees. Political lines are drawn, the debate heats up, and Fox's Team Washington has it covered. Live, fair, and balanced. Stay with Fox News Channel, the most powerful name in news. At 4, it's live updates, plus Katrina's impact on the economy on Your World with Neil Cavuto. Then at 5, get the latest developments from the region on The Big Story with John Gibson. Plus at 6, Rehnquist's legacy and the future of the Supreme Court. Get in-depth analysis on Special Report.
Just Air Force Rescue. We're a conglomeration of guys from all over the country, between helicopter squadrons and different squadrons throughout the base or throughout the country. We've got these ladies here. They're gathering up their personal belongings, things like that. But they got to pack light because we have a small helicopter, and then we're going to get them downstairs, load them up, and then from here we're going to take them to New Orleans International to the triage center that's there.
It's been one of those days. It's been, I don't know, I'll never forget. I'll never forget the last, I get mixed up, 48, 72 hours, however long it's been we've been down here. I tell you, what has turned the tide here are the men and women in the uniform of the United States of America, be they Coast Guard, Navy, Marines, Army, National Guard, reservists, other first responders. They have really done the job here. No one's pointing a finger of blame at them. They really have done an amazing, amazing job. New Orleans, a stricken city, is really the reason it's coming. The reason that these people have been saved is because of the amazing efforts. Let me go now to Bill Hammer, my colleague, who's done a great job up in Baton Rouge. He's at the emergency center up there, and he's had a very, very busy day in what has become Louisiana's largest city. It wasn't before this, but it is now. Bill, take it away.
Indeed, you're right. Geraldo, thanks for that. Earlier today, we got a word from the medical examiner here in the state of Louisiana. The official death count here in the state is listed at 59. Which may strike a lot of people as a very low number, especially when you listen to the reports from the mayor down in New Orleans and the governor here in Baton Rouge. They're saying hundreds at the low side, thousands at the high end, and some people even go higher than that with the ultimate death toll as a result of Hurricane Katrina. But as they give that death toll out today, they're giving a lot of caution as well. One person told me today, as soon as the water goes down, we don't know what we will find. And when they say we don't know what we will find, they mean these attics, they mean these homes that once they get that water level down, they go house to house. They're not quite sure how many people got trapped inside their own homes and could not get out when the water of Katrina was brought to their doorstep literally last Tuesday when the levees broke down there in New Orleans. And I mentioned about the levees too. The Army Corps of Engineers, I know, Geraldo, you spoke to them about 30 minutes ago. They are really optimistic right now about getting this breach closed, and he told you about 75% finished now. We were there early this morning flying over in this videotape about 8 a.m. and it looked like about, 25, maybe 30% closed. And tonight they're telling us here in Baton Rouge that they think this thing will be sealed by this evening, and if not, by tomorrow morning at the latest. And that the reason why this is so critical is some of the main pumping stations, 22 throughout the city of New Orleans, but some of the main pumping stations, the biggest pumping stations, are located right near where this levee is broken. Now, they don't know if the pumps work or not, but in order to get to them, they're going to have to get the water's level down, as we've been talking about through the entire week here. Back in Baton Rouge, though, I can tell you the president is due on the ground tomorrow morning again, his second on-ground visit to the Gulf Coast here in a couple of days here, and we're going to follow his trip. And he's going to see the progress, and there's been an awful lot of it. But I know, Geraldo, as you talk to people down there, they want to see more progress hour by hour and day by day. And aren't we all just waiting here on the Gulf Coast? Watch the president's trip here tomorrow in Baton Rouge. Geraldo, back to you now in New Orleans.
Bill, let me ask you a question. Baton Rouge is a gigantic port. New Orleans is the busiest export port in the United States, as far as I know. The Mississippi River, that's where we, all the commerce of the country filters out to go abroad. Any idea when the Mississippi River is going to open? Any idea when these, this vital commercial artery is going to open?
Well, it's such a critical question, too. And the economic situation, too, has been something we've been looking at, Geraldo, right? But, you have to get past this human drama, too, of getting these people out in the meantime. Listen, we were in a Black Hawk helicopter early this morning flying down the mouth of the Mississippi River and literally getting right to the mouth of the river, and we're passing oil refineries on the side of this river that are still submerged in water. They are offline. There's no telling when they're going to be used again. And also that pipeline system that runs up through the mouth of the Mississippi, so critical. It supplies upwards of 8% of the gasoline we use in this country. And no one just yet is putting a date, whether it's days away or weeks away, from getting that commerce up and running again. But it is a wide open question now about how this part of the country affects the rest of the U.S. economy in the weeks and months to come.
All right, my friend, proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with you. Another colleague, David Lee Miller, joins us now. He's not far away from the convention center here in New Orleans. David Lee, you've had a busy day also. Why don't you tell us what you've seen?
Indeed, a very busy week. Well, we talked just 1 hour ago, and I mentioned the fact that there was a fire burning out of control in the western part of the city. It looks like a couple of miles from where I'm standing. Well, take a look over my shoulder. We're going to zoom in here one more time, and you can see that this blaze continues to burn. And because there's a difficulty here of getting information, Geraldo, we simply do not know what is burning. We don't even know if there are fire trucks on the scene or if they have the water necessary to put out this fire. And this is just one of many fires that we have seen burning out of control throughout this week. And we have a team on the ground heading in that direction, and we expect to learn more in the next few minutes. As soon as we do, we will pass it along to you. Meanwhile, this is a city that, although order is slowly returning to, there is still an element here of lawlessness. There was a shooting earlier today, and the police here say that cops had to shoot 5 people in an incident. Now, there was a great deal of contradictory information about exactly what took place here. And just a short time ago, one of our producers met up with the chief of operations here for the New Orleans Police Department, Warren J. Riley, to set the record straight about exactly what took place earlier today in this
Sometime around 8:50 this morning, our officers received a call from a rescue worker who was in the area that someone was shooting near the bridge. Our task force responded. They observed the subject shooting. As our officers approached, they were fired upon by 6 people. Our officers returned fire, striking 5 of the subjects. 2 were killed, 3 were wounded, and later apprehending a 6th person.
We should also mention here, Geraldo, that the police department here have been doing a wonderful job under extremely difficult circumstances. 2 of the officers this week took their own lives. They were suicides, succumbing to the pressure of the job under very unique circumstances. And a number of the officers have handed in their badge. Some of them have simply said they had enough and they have not reported to work. A great many of the officers missing family members. They do not have homes to return to. But nevertheless, here the department does continue to function, and they say progress continues to be made when it comes to saving lives. And very quickly, I should add that tomorrow is going to be another chaotic day here in New Orleans, just on the outskirts of the city, Geraldo, at Jefferson Parish. People, for the first time since the storm, will be allowed to return home. They'll be allowed to take a look at their property, take some pictures for insurance reasons, maybe grab a photo album or two, but they will not be allowed to actually live in their homes. There's still a shortage of water and power. It's still not clear when people will finally be able to return to their old lives. Geraldo.
David Lee, you know what I heard? I heard that the starting salary for a New Orleans cop is 16 grand. That's $300 a week. So I mean, imagine getting paid $300 a week to put your life on the line, your house is gone, your family is totally uprooted, and then you're asked to control what is the biggest natural disaster. I mean, I hear about those suicides. I'm telling you, that doesn't surprise me, David Lee. I mean, these guys, how stressed out can you possibly be, mate?
Absolutely. They are under incredible stress, and it's only going to get worse, at least for the next few days. And as these officers will tell you, in fact, police will tell you just about everywhere, this is a job they don't do for the money. They do it because they want to make a difference, and the cops here are contributing, and they continue to save lives along with the National Guard under circumstances that are almost impossible to describe. But I can tell you, too, that things have improved a little bit. For the first time since the hurricane, Geraldo, they've actually opened up a jail here, and people arrested are now being incarcerated again, but it just goes to show how difficult their job is. Up until today, they really didn't have a working jail in which to place people who had been arrested, such as looters.
That's funny, David Lee. Our first night, we slept on the floor of the jail up in Baton Rouge Airport. But thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. Alicia Cunha now, Houston Astrodome. I'm telling you, my heart goes out to Texas, Alicia. If everybody, Alicia, if everybody had done what Texas has done, well, I'm not going to point finger at anybody, but I love the Lone Star State. What's the scene in the Astrodome now?
It is amazing, Geraldo, the generosity that the state of Texas has offered and is giving to its neighbor Louisiana is really difficult and probably impossible to calculate, but it has given so much to 245,000 evacuees, probably more, and so much so that now the governor has now said there's simply no more room in the state of Texas, and other states are now opening up their doors. The Texas National Guard is coordinating an airlift to get some of these evacuees to outlying states. Now, with regard to here, where I'm standing here in Houston, outside the Astrodome, there are people here who remain separated from their families, but they are being given so much, and everywhere there are signs of hope. Today we walked around the Astrodome and we ran into a group of men who had broken out into spontaneous prayer. They were being led by Pastor Kendall Baker. Now, Pastor Baker is of a local church here. He came here 4 days ago to offer spiritual support. And here, this is just one example of the small miracles that people are witnessing here. He told us of a woman who he was called to assist, who he said was contemplating suicide.
Someone had told her that her daughter had passed, her 18-year-old had passed and gone on, and she was just hurt. Well, we prayed, and I believe God for a miracle that God would cause her daughter to appear. We prayed and we sought God. I anointed her with the oil. You know, you always got to stay ready. And 30 minutes later, the 18-year-old daughter appeared safe and sound right there in the Astrodome. I mean,
You saw this yourself?
I saw it myself.
Now, there are reunions that are going on all the time, and I don't know if we are able to finish hearing everything that he had to say, but 30 minutes later, he was able to witness the reunion between this one woman who had been told her daughter had died, and then he saw the daughter get off the bus and he saw these two women join together. So just one of the many reunions that are happening here, and Pastor Baker is calling on all of the pastors and ministers in this area to come here and offer spiritual support, because faith can be questioned during times like these. But the people here, we have seen them pray together. We have seen them attempt to move on, and they're doing so with the help of the people of Texas. Geraldo.
Alicia Cunha, the Astrodome. Thank you very much, Alicia. Molly Henneberg's at the River Center in Baton Rouge. One of the, I don't know what the function exactly of the River Center is. Is it one of the refugee points, Molly? Is it a transit point? Why don't you tell us and then give us your report?
The River River Center is the largest shelter here for evacuees, people who have been evacuated out of New Orleans. It's housing about 5,000 to 6,000 people. And Geraldo, since our last report with you an hour ago, an hour ago we showed you those two kids who were missing their parents. Well, we've gotten very good news. Let's play the tape of what we heard from them just a few minutes ago.
Well, thanks to you guys, we have located my niece and her husband, my niece, great niece and nephew's parent. They're in Culver Christi, Texas, and they're going to relocate to Dallas. And I just want to say thanks to you guys. You really helped us to put our family together.
And how do you feel, Andrea?
I'm very happy.
You know where Mom and Dad are. And what about you, Tarillo?
Very, very happy.
So that's very good news that they were reunited with their parents. Now, really quickly here at the River Center, I want to show you what's going on right here. We have Stan and Dee Valentine. They're hard at work, but they own a photography shop and they have clothing rentals. Well, they have some extra clothing, some surplus clothing that they've brought here to the River Center to give out for free. Not only are they giving it out, they are measuring it, these pants for some of these gentlemen in line here. They're measuring, cutting, and sewing the pants so they fit just right, and giving away shirts as well. These are surplus clothes, and they decided to bring them back here for free just for the people here at the shelter so could have some new clothes. Live in Baton Rouge, I'm Molly Henneberg. Geraldo, back to you.
Molly, you put a smile on my face. There haven't been many of them in recent days. Thank you very much for that report. Ladies and gentlemen, give us a minute. We've got to take a quick break, and we'll be back live from New Orleans, the convention center, after this.
Think the first gated communities were built in the 1980s? Think again. The Romans not only conquered the ancient world, they conquered the future. Rome, engineering an empire, as only the History Channel can bring you. Check your local listings.
So I put on this Thermacare heat wrap for knees. It heated up and it was all downhill from there. With less knee stiffness, less pain. Nice. Oh, and since the knee wrap can go anywhere I go, I'm gone.
What's great about Ziploc containers? The twist and lock seal.
Hon, no, of course I'm not eating salsa on our new white living room set. You know me, Mr. Responsibility. No mess on my watch, honey.
Ziploc Twist and Lock. The disposable twist stop with a leak-resistant seal for soups, sauces, and salsa.
Ooh, gotta go. Oh, be careful. Daddy salsa.
Ziploc Twist and Lock. Designed with you in mind. S.C. Johnson, a family company.
When you're a star like me, you just get treated differently.
Key to the minibar?
Ooh. They miniaturize an entire bar just for me.
Turn down service.
Fantastic. Somehow they know I like to sleep between the sheets. Even my independent insurance agent spoils me.
John, for you, the best policy is drive insurance from Progressive. I compared a lot of them.
You see, he treats me like the Sultan of Papa Mau Mau.
Actually, I do it for everyone.
Of course you do.
To find an agent who'll take care of you, go to driveinsurance.com.
Lots of Wi-Fi users work in coffee shops, which aren't always the best places to work. Wouldn't it be great to work wherever you wanted instead of only in hotspots? Now you can with Verizon Wireless Broadband Access. Wi-Fi only works in limited locations, while Broadband Access is the nation's largest, fastest, wide-area wireless broadband network and is expanding coast to coast. Now get unlimited access at a great price, so you won't get stuck in a not-so-hot spot. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Hyundai summer clearance has been held over, so save the dates to save big. Come get up to $4,000 cash back on select models. There are just a few days left to save on the V6 Hyundai Santa Fe. And don't forget, Hyundai's award-winning quality lets us offer America's best warranty. It's your last chance for up to $4,000 cash back. Held over through Labor Day at Hyundai. So hurry in. Get a Hyundai Santa Fe with up to $4,000 cash back at your Portland area Hyundai dealer.
The dish was on the back part of the roof.
Every time the wind blew, the picture went out. The branches blew right into the signal. We called the dish guy, and he told us that we needed some trees and branches pruned back, and it was going to cost us $400. We started pruning tree branches.
You have to cut down a tree to watch TV.
There it is, my tree of shame. And to make a long story short, it still doesn't work. I called Comcast, and I got my digital cable. I'm done with the dish.
Live at the New Orleans Convention Center, a scene a couple of nights ago of absolute depravity, misery, anarchy, people, no food, no water, no sanitation. One of the truly most horrible things I'd ever seen in my life. People living under the most deplorable conditions you could possibly imagine. And then come Saturday morning, this incredible aerial armada. They took thousands of people out of this this convention center here on the Mississippi riverfront in New Orleans. They emptied this place. It didn't even take 12 hours. It was unbelievable what happened once we got the military coordinating the effort here. Kenner Airport up in Louisiana, further upstate, has been a very, very busy place also. Our Anita Vogel is there, and she'll tell us about the activities that have been going on in Kenner. Anita, take it away.
Well, hi, Geraldo. I've been listening as you've been talking about signs of progress that you've been seeing throughout your show throughout the last couple of days. And we've seen a lot of that progress here at the Louis Armstrong International Airport. Right now, I'm standing inside one of the terminals. And even at this late hour, they are moving evacuees through here, getting them onto planes and flying them to other cities. We've seen all day people waiting in line to get on those planes and fly out of here. They're being flown to other states, other cities where they have shelters to accommodate these people, and in many cases these people are going to be living in these shelters for quite some time, weeks to come. They are moving as many as 8,000 people out of here per day, and we've spoken to a lot of people here. We spoke to one woman today in particular who, although she told us she was very happy to be rescued and to be alive, she really couldn't hide her emotions about the cards that life had dealt her and her neighbors.
It's just the worst nightmare in the world. You don't know when, but the only thing, you're not going to wake up from a night. You wake up from nightmares, but you'll never wake up from this. Oh, beautiful city's gone.
And certainly so many people feel that way, that sense of sadness. But there are some positive things going on, as we mentioned, and here at the airport, a lot of positive things. Close to 100 planes are landing here each day, both military and commercial, and they're carrying on these planes supplies, all kinds of relief supplies that are going to help folks here at the airport. They're also being dispersed throughout the city, throughout the downtown area. Now, also, even at this late hour, we are expecting a lot more evacuees to come through here. There's kind of been a scattering of people that we've seen throughout the day, not the crush of people that we saw yesterday and the day before, but we just got word about an hour ago that more than a dozen buses are on their way here right now, and those people will all be getting on planes tonight and getting out of here. This is a 24-hour operation here at the airport. Geraldo, back to you.
Anita, thank you very much. I just want you to know, because they turned the lights on here at the New Orleans Convention Center for the first time in a week. You can peer inside. Clint, just push in and look what they were living in, and you wonder why people are stressed out. Just push in now. You wonder why, there's no surprise. They were living in the most squalid. Push in that shot, yeah. Just check this out. Just check this out. Just imagine, at some point I think they said 15,000 or more people. I'm not sure about the numbers, but thousands of people jammed in there. No toilets, no food, babies crying. Later I'll show you a happy ending story, another of those happy ending stories from this, but that was just, I had Senator Frist here yesterday, the Senate Majority Leader, and he compared it to the two things that were, most similar in his mind were Darfur, the region of the Sudan, where they had that, that awful drought and starvation and anarchy and total societal disruption, and also to the tsunami and the immediate aftermath of that killer giant wave that swept the Indian Ocean, wiping wiping out so many tens of thousands of people. That from the Senate Majority Leader, who is here not as in his political capacity, but rather as a physician, as an emergency physician. But it has been, it's impossible. Words can never match and will never match. I'm telling you, seeing is believing. Anyway, I want to go to Dr. Manny Alvarez, the Fox News medical analyst who's in Baton Rouge. Dr. Alvarez, bienvenido. Nice to see you, man. So tell us what you're seeing of the refugees. Tell us what's going on.
Well, the doctors and nurses still working. We're ending a long day here in Baton Rouge, but the folks keep coming. I mean, this shelter is really over capacity, and here people have not received medical care for a long period of time. Folks have not taken their medications for days. Actually, they have ran out of medications because they had to run out of the house without anything. So we're catching up, trying to figure out what kind of health problems they have, what medications they were taking. We're trying to get meds out to these folks, which is a very difficult endeavor because the pharmacy doesn't want to give us more than 7 days in many cases, and some folks are taking medications for weeks and months. So this is quite a challenge for the doctors and nursing, but the spirit is high, which is a good thing.
Manny, Dr. Alvarez, one of the things that that is inescapable is the vulnerability of the population that has been hardest hit by this colossal disaster. Yes, it's true that everybody suffered, but just follow me on this one. There was a mandatory evacuation. So what you had is the people who could leave left before Katrina hit. That's where those traffic jams on the I-10, people with cars, middle class, lower middle class, upper middle class, rich people, they hit the road, and many of them now are going to be brought back. But the poor people that, like the people we've been watching these rescues today, mainly the very young or moms with very young babies or the elderly. It seems to me that population, poor, aged, infirm in the best of times, is so particularly vulnerable. Isn't that a fact, Dr. Alvarez?
Well, you're absolutely right. One of the things that we talked about, all the doctors here and all the nurses, the first thing we realize is that this community that's inside there, those 8,000 people inside there, were receiving health care in community health centers. They were Medicaid, Medicare patients. They did not have the facilities, the communications that are necessary to get good health care. So now we're helping them, and of course, we're paying the consequences of all this type of care.
Dr. Alvarez, thank you very much. Doing a good job up there in Baton Rouge. Judge Robert Eckel, they're doing a magnificent job running the Astrodome. Talk about being stressed out. Talk about, doing a Herculean effort, task, and accomplishing it with great style and spirit. Dr. Eckel, I can't stop, gushing about the effort of the Lone Star State and you folks at the Astrodome. Why don't you just kind of give us an overview of what's going on right at this hour?
Well, Geraldo, it's a team effort here, a real flat organization, and what you see in Texas is a team coming together. This is a county facility at the Astrodome. We've processed about 26,000 people through here yesterday. About 8 of them moved on. We have about 15,000 in the dome, and we're really trying to avoid the problems you talked about in the convention center or in the Superdome, where you have such a packed crowd that they start having the social problems. It's more than just a roof over your head. It's trying to deal with the psychological and social issues too. We've expanded, canceled conventions at our county convention center here in Reliant and moved into the county center with another 6,000 or 8,000, another 4,000 in an arena here, part of this pad, a smaller arena. The city has opened the George R. Brown down the road, and it can handle 3,000 or 4,000. We're working closely with the mayor here in Houston, and so it's a team effort. We're a seamless operation. We have now probably about 30,000 people in this facilities. We have a big medical contingent you've talked about there. A lot of people here are getting probably better medical care than they got at home. We're bringing them through. They first hit the door. They got a hot shower. They got a hot shower, 3 square meals a day, a place to get the medical triage. The worst medical cases come through here. We have a full hospital set up here at the facility and are transporting to other facilities around Houston. So it's been a tremendous effort that was put together essentially in 12 or 14 hours. We got a call at 3 o'clock in the morning, and at 10 o'clock that night we were taking the first buses in.
What about, don't you play football on that Astrodome?
Well, the Astrodome was the home of the Texans and previously the Houston Astros. They're next door in Reliance Center. The challenge here has been this is an operating facility. We had a football game next door in the Reliance Stadium I think Thursday after we opened this facility on Wednesday, and it was interesting moving the folks through. We've canceled most of the other events. The Texans' next event is on the 18th, and we're trying to work about how we get that challenge. But the dome itself is not used for professional sports now. It's used for what we call dirt events, tractor pulls, some concerts, overflows at conventions, smaller venues. It's not been heavily used. We're still trying to decide how exactly to use the Astrodome. We're just glad we have it, and it was available for this particular tragedy that we faced. It's part of our emergency planning that we have here in the Houston-Galveston area of being able to use these shelters, but it was heartwarming to see this community, this state, these folks all come together in an effort to put these services in, and that our plan worked as well as it did.
Judge Robert Eckel, you're one of my favorite people these days. Thank you once again for your efforts.
Well, we are part of it. This is going to be a chance for folks to rebuild their lives and move on with other things. We thank you too, Geraldo.
With your helping hand. All right, mate. Beverly Smallwood on the phone from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, psychologist who deals with refugees. I bet the refugees you usually deal with from the third world, but this is kind of third world-ish, isn't it, Beverly, what we're seeing here?
Absolutely. It's different from anything we've ever seen, and yet the psychological issues are similar to people who go through tragedies and traumas of all kinds, yet this one is so enormous.
So how do you give people a sense of proportion, a sense of stability, security, that tomorrow will be better than today, Beverly? Yes.
I mean, the thing is, they really have to focus on getting through today, just the hows of getting through this day. But I'm just encouraged by the hope that I'm already seeing in people who are survivors. They really have lost everything materially that they have, but they say we really haven't lost everything because we're still here. We've made it out. With God's help, we'll somehow rebuild. I see them making plans for, like one woman told me, I think I'm going to go try to get a job in Houston because I think my family went that way. I mean, that's the biggest anxiety that I'm seeing among people, is that they're just wondering where family are and those kinds of things. And yet I just see that determination. At the same time, Geraldo, they're looking for things to do where they are. One couple volunteered in our center to clean the bathrooms every hour. That gave them a sense of purpose, which then will give them momentum for the future.
A sense of purpose, so necessary. Thank you, Beverly Smallwood. I want to say for the record that if this guy had been, if they had allowed his nomination for Homeland Security Chief to go forward, I'm not putting anybody down, but I bet Bernie Kerik would have handled this thing in a way that, anyway, Bernie, I was on the roof with you in Baghdad. It's like Baghdad, mate.
Yeah, it's a pretty rough time, Geraldo. But I think they're on the road to recovery. I think things are going a lot better than they were. I think they lost a few days. I think there's some questions with regard to preparation, but I think they're coming back.
It seemed to me that once the military got involved, things got organized. Isn't that a problem? I mean, it just seemed to me like I'll give you an example. We're under the I-10 bridge here in front of the convention center. There were 3 different police departments that had jurisdiction of that elevated highway. One wanted to let the refugees pass. The other said no, the chief wouldn't let them. It just didn't seem to be anyone in charge. Everyone was in charge and no one was in charge. Don't you think you need better coordination between FEMA, Homeland Security, and the United States military?
Honestly, Geraldo, somebody has to be in charge, and I think that's why there was a lot more success, or a lot of success on 9/11. Rudy Giuliani was in charge. We met 3 times a day. There was a command structure. Everybody knew what everybody was doing because they sat in 3 different meetings, one at 7, one at 12, one at 7 at night. and everybody was on the same page. In this case, they didn't have that organizational structure. And listen, I'm not going to Monday morning quarterback or criticize, but I think if you can take one thing away from this, it's lessons learned. And I think for other state governments and state and local governments around the country, this is a good learning tool to how to be prepared for a crisis in the future.
So who should be, Bernie, Commissioner, you ran the New York City Police Department. You did magnificent. You did it magnificently. You're the man that built up the cops over in Iraq. Who should be in charge?
Well, in this case,
I'm not talking about the President of the United States. I mean, that's the White House. I mean, who should really say, you go there, get these people out of the convention center, get the hamburgers to Jane Doe. You know what I mean? Who should be in charge?
Honestly,
should it be a uniformed person or should it be a civilian?
I think in this circumstance, it has to be one designated person, probably either DHS or FEMA, that would be the principal coordinator in authority over the other jurisdictions. You got to remember, you're dealing with 3 different states. Governors are elected officials. Who's their boss? The people of their state. So you need principal coordinators for them. So you need one person sitting at the table, taking in the information from those states, and then assisting those states individually in those locations. But you definitely need one principal coordinator. And in this case, initially, that wasn't done. I think they've gotten it together since. I think they're doing a lot better. But like I said, this is something we have to learn from later on down the line for any type of crisis, whether it's a terrorist event or a man-made crisis.
I have to say this, and I'm not blaming anybody, but I saw Mike Brown, the head of FEMA. He talked to Anderson Cooper of CNN on Wednesday night, and he said, we're going to get help to those people. Then I saw him with Ted Koppel on Thursday night saying, we're going to get help with those people. And then Friday night, I was on the air with Sean Hannity, and he said, they're going to get help with those people. And it wasn't until Saturday morning that it happened. I don't know. I just bet you that if Bernie Kerik was there, that when he said on Wednesday night they get help for those people, they would have got help for those people. They emptied that place in 12 hours.
Well, honestly, Geraldo, I think this is all about planning and preparation. On the morning of September 11th, we didn't have advance warning. We had 5 days up on this storm. There were a lot of things that could have been done that were not done. You know what? Put that behind us. Look at what they're doing now. Look at the response now, the movement now. I think they're doing a lot better. And let's just pray for the people involved.
They are. I hear you. I'll thank Commissioner Bernie Kerik, former head of the New York Police Department. Thank you, Bernie. All right, let's take a break, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully the worst is behind us, although the heartache of rebuilding and relocation and all the rest of that is still ahead. It's going to be the lead story for a long time. After this, continue.
Hey guys, big news for men with ED. The Cialis Promise Program. Here's the deal. Try Cialis for the first time free. They're so confident you'll like Cialis. If you don't, they'll pay for a sample of the ED tablet of your choice. That's the Cialis Promise. Get details at Cialis.com. See how having up to 36 hours lets you choose when the moment is right. Cialis is only for men healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. As with any ED tablet, men who experience an erection for more than 4 hours should seek immediate medical attention to avoid long-term injury. Discuss your health status and medications, including alpha blockers, with your doctor, and ask if Cialis is right for you. Discover the Cialis Promise Program. Are you ready?
In 3 weeks, I will be grounded for incurring massive charges on my parents' cell phone bill.
We'll break up after the next billing cycle.
Because we don't have mobile-to-mobile calling.
I will be at the mercy of forces larger than myself.
I will realize I have no self-control way too late.
Don't get schooled in wireless. Get GoPhone. Pay as you go with cash or pick your plan with debit or credit. GoPhone comes with everything but a surprise bill.
My GoPhone, unlike my prom date, will prove to be an excellent decision.
Only from Singular, raising the bar.
We use a lot of paper around here.
We print it,
Then copy it.
we file it,
And transfer it. We lose it.
found it, we process it, and turn it into more paper.
And we wonder why our information flow doesn't actually flow.
One company can uncomplicate your paper flow. Lexmark. We've designed smarter ways for the world's biggest businesses to print, move, and manage information. Go to lexmark.com and see how we can help yours uncomplicate.
The first words on the moon were spoken into a Plantronics headset.
We can see you coming down the ladder now.
But the question remains, what if our headset wasn't there?
That's one small step for man, one giant hawk. Are you there?
Now Plantronics makes wireless headsets for everyone. Plantronics. Sound innovation.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the New Orleans Convention Center, where things have quieted down. It has been, tumult and noise, and people wondering what was going to go on. The Army trucks, civilian volunteer trucks, people walking in, hundreds of people. I think they said 3,000 today were evacuated by this magnificent aerial armada that has been taking people from here at the New Orleans Convention Center to the New Orleans International Airport, which, thank God, has air conditioning. They, it's crowded, and they got their own problems there, but that's the transit point. From there, they're being evacuated. A lot of communities saying, hey, we have all we can possibly handle. So hopefully, it's like you drop that stone in the pond, and the ripples will, go out those concentric circles. Hopefully communities beyond Houston and San Antonio and Dallas and Little Rock, in Atlanta, Mississippi's got its own problems. But as these ripples go out, hopefully these other communities will also open their arms. It's not a population. Let's face it. Let's be frank. Who wants more poor people in their community? Really, who wants more aged, infirm people? Who wants more babies on public assistance? You got to be frank about this. You can't sugarcoat this. You're not talking about baby Jessica in the well here. Baby Jessica's easy. You get the little baby. Everybody wants the little baby. I'm not even talking race here. Everybody wants the cute little thing. Nobody wants the the public burden. But that's what it's going to take. You gotta share the burden. There's a gigantic country. Yes, this big city has been stricken. This big city of 1,400,000, the environs. Yes, Mississippi has been stricken. But this is a nation. What is it? Almost 300 million people now. There's vast swaths of America where there's plenty of room, plenty of excess capacity. Everybody's got some time. Everyone's got some energy. Everybody's got a little money. There's the Red Cross, United Way, absolute, blue ribbon charities, no problem. Anyway, let me get to Bill Hemmer in Baton Rouge. Bill, I'm not sure exactly what you're going to talk about right now, but you've been doing a good job reporting on the various aspects of what's happening and what has now become Louisiana's biggest city. So take it away, mate.
Yeah, let me pick up on that point you were making there, Geraldo. Here's the story I see developing here in Baton Rouge and perhaps in places like Houston and San Antonio and Dallas and Atlanta and Jacksonville, is that local churches are now being contacted, and they're being urged to take groups away from these centers that have thousands of people in them, and go to churches with several hundred, maybe 500 or 600 at a time. And you can see that grassroots effort now. If you project weeks down the road now, you start in the thousands, you break it down into hundreds, and now soon we're dealing with dozens, and then eventually it's family by family. And I think as we follow this story forward, that could be the next page for these evacuees, just as they try and find the next chapter in their own life going forward. A couple of things to let you know. We've been watching the National Guard throughout the day here. They're here in big force and big numbers. By tomorrow night, they're saying 30,000 strong in Louisiana alone. One of their primary jobs will be security, fanning out to all these parishes and making sure the homes are not looted, that the people are cleared out and that the place stays safe. New Orleans, I think, really scared a lot of people. That's what I'm hearing here in Baton Rouge. You know, the violence on the street and the gunfights that broke out scared a lot of people, and they're concerned about that in the coming weeks down there. I think for our viewers, as we close out the program tonight, Geraldo, I think there are two significant stories to keep an eye on tomorrow. Number one is the president coming back to the Gulf Coast region for the second time in several days. He's taken some heat in some corners. Just about every government official has taken heat in some corners, be it the city level or the county level, the state level, or the federal level. The White House is very tight tonight on his plans about what his tour and what his schedule will be. We know he's going to be in Baton Rouge, but we'll follow that again tomorrow as Monday unfolds on Labor Day. Believe it or not, tomorrow's Labor Day across the country. And the other big story is in Jefferson Parish, I believe, you know, with these families allowed to go back into their homes for what could be the final time to grab belongings and pictures and wallets and purses. Imagine the emotion that these people will experience when they're told to leave their home for what could be the last time they will ever see it. See you again tomorrow, Geraldo. Back to you in New Orleans.
Okay, mate. Thanks. Great job. Laura Engel now. Laura, you've been with the California Air National Guard. What's going on at this late hour?
Hi, Geraldo. We're actually waiting to see about 17 buses arrive here at the airport, moving them in and shipping them out. That has been the battle plan for the California Air National Guard, along with the rest of the troops here. And so far, that plan has been working, restoring order here at the airport. Now, we've been embedded with the California Air National Guard for the last 3 days. Our first stop in Southern California was getting ready to get on a KC-135 cargo aircraft. We landed at a Naval Air Station here. Our cameras captured a role-playing drill between the guardsmen over how to handle hostile evacuees. It turns out most of those extreme measures that we watched them practice were not needed. Everybody here had to carry an M16 with them. That has not been necessary to use any of that sort of use of force. Calm reasoning with the masses has been working out. There have been a couple of guns and knives that have been seized from some of the evacuees, even some pot and a lot of booze as well. Sleeping has been a pretty interesting adventure on this mission, on this Fox News embed. I've also experienced the emergency bunking drills that these guys have gone through. That would be sleeping on the carousels of baggage claim.
Yeah, I got a cot, so it's not really that bad. After spending 12 hours letting people in the door down there, I'm just glad to be able to be in air conditioning and sleep after what they've been going through.
Well, a hot meal and cold shower have certainly helped matters here for the National Guard. We had some shower trailers and some catering that showed up, bringing the meat and potatoes here for the men and women who need it to help sustain their energy and nutrition to get here. And, of course, we have stepped into this Technicolor nightmare for the people of New Orleans, and we're hoping that it ends soon. We'll give you the latest tomorrow. Geraldo.
Nightmare it is. Thank you very much, Laura. Alicia Acuna now, and my new favorite building, the Houston Astrodome. What it's done, the huge compassion, the heart they've shown. Alicia, what's going on at this hour?
Well, Geraldo, things actually are quieting down here at the Astrodome, but as the thousands of people inside go to sleep tonight, they can look forward to one thing in the morning. Tomorrow, they will witness an opportunity for Americans to step forward, if they haven't already, to offer even more assistance in this effort. Tomorrow morning, former Presidents Bush 41 and Clinton will be here to tour the Astrodome, and at that time, they will announce a national fundraising campaign. You know, these two have done this before with the tsunami effort. They're doing it again for the United States. They're doing it again for these folks of the Gulf states. They will be here again tomorrow to call on Americans to step up, come forward, and give some more if they haven't already. If folks out there haven't made that decision yet, this will be yet another time for them to do so. They can use Texas as an example. This is a state that has opened up its heart, opened up its doors, its churches, its schools, you name it, they have offered it. And just about anything that you can think of that someone would need after being ripped from their homes is being made available here. They are thinking of everything. The organizers here working very diligently to make sure everything is met. They are meeting the medical needs. They have opened up a hospital here with a concentrated skill set that is so impressive that some of the doctors here have told us you don't see this sort of concentration of doctors like this even in an emergency room, a general emergency room. So people really have the best at their fingertips here, everything they need. They are going to educate the children. They begin school a week from Monday, so doing everything they can to help these folks get back to normal. Back to you.
Alicia, thank you very much. All right, when we come back, we're going to try and end this on an upbeat note. I tell you one thing, the president's coming is a huge morale boost for people. These are symbolic visits, true. I mean, he's not going to come carrying, a care package, but to see the president, and especially the First Lady, the most popular person in America probably, really heartens people. It tells them that America cares about them. So that's a really, really big deal. All right, let me take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this.
Lots of Wi-Fi users work in coffee shops, which aren't always the best places to work. Wouldn't it be great to work wherever you wanted instead of only in hotspots? Now you can with Verizon Wireless Broadband Access. Wi-Fi only works in limited locations, while Broadband Access is the nation's largest, fastest, wide-area wireless broadband network and is expanding coast to coast. Now get unlimited access at a great price, so you won't get stuck in a not-so-hot spot. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Sadly, arthritis pain can mean the end of life's little pleasures. But not for people who use Aleve. People whose doctors have told them the good news about the strength and safety of Aleve. The good news that only Aleve can stop arthritis pain all day with just 2 pills. That would take 8 Tylenol. Take back the pleasure arthritis pain took away. Ask your doctor about the good news. Ask your doctor about Aleve.
Exit ramp 14. Left on Madison. Turn right. In 50 feet.
Life comes at you fast, and when it does, Nationwide Insurance is right there, taking care of you.
Nationwide is on your side.
Protect your family with life insurance from Prudential.
Hey, Dad, what's life insurance?
Well, life insurance is something parents buy. So in case something happens to them, you kids will be okay.
Oh. Do we have life insurance?
Yeah, we do.
Good.
Yeah, it is good.
No one would buy a new car without the protection of a warranty, and you shouldn't invest in a used one without protection either. That's why at Newburgh Ford, we now provide a lifetime engine warranty on every used vehicle we sell. No other dealer in the area offers it, and you certainly won't get it from a private party. What's the catch? You just have to keep up with oil changes. If I were buying a used vehicle for my family, I'd want the protection of a warranty, and you deserve the same.
The Newburgh Ford and Mercury Lifetime Engine Warranty. Finally, peace of mind for used car buyers.
What you wish you could do in real life, now you can do at VX.com. Roadmap to the automotive world.
Back to the New Orleans Convention Center, now empty, blessedly. Let me, a lot of people have been calling us, can you find my Aunt Mary? Can you find my cousin Johnny? And we can't go, it's too big, it's even too big for Fox to handle. But we do have this Red Cross number. The Red Cross is one of those agencies that's magnificent, above reproach, efficient, run well. It's one of those private/public agencies that you can't go wrong. They have a special reunion number. It's 877 Loved One S, Loved Ones. So again, that number 877 LOVED 1, the number 1 S. That's the Red Cross Family Victims Phone Hotline. Let me go Rebecca Gomez right now from New York on people opening their homes to the refugees.
Geraldo, Americans have always helped out in disasters, volunteering their time and efforts and opening their wallets. This time, they're also opening the doors to their homes to give the victims of Hurricane Katrina a safe, dry place to stay. Americans are offering their homes through websites, toll-free numbers, flyers, news outlets, and their elected officials. ShareYourHome.org, based in Shreveport, Louisiana, is one of them. Volunteers can also sign up on the website, and there's a toll-free number, 888-827-2525. The alternate number is 225-765-4568. Another place you can go is hurricanehousing.org. Their toll-free number is 800-638-4559. For people who need a home and those willing to donate one, here are two more websites, welcomewagon.com and openyourhome.com. Also log on to homeflood.org. The website is a much-needed database to help relief workers match the homeless with those donating homes. And finally, two more resources to find a home or to provide one for hurricane victims. Check out NOLA.com and KatrinaHousing.org. NOLA.com is a New Orleans website that, in addition to housing, provides a help center to locate missing persons. We'll continue to show you more websites and telephone numbers here on Fox News Channel as more people open their hearts and homes to the victims of Hurricane Katrina. If you have housing information that we can pass along to those in need, please email us at comments@foxnews.com, and we'll be sure to share that information with you. Geraldo, back to you.
Rebecca Gomez in New York, thank you very much. I think Greta's got a surprise for me from Houston. Here's Greta.
All right, Geraldo, I have a special little surprise for you. The other night on your show, you showed this picture. These two little boys, you were looking for them because they were missing, trying to reunite the family. Well, my surprise for you tonight is this. Let me introduce you to, first of all, to the two boys. Your name, sir?
Joe Wilson.
Your name, sir?
Joshua Wilson.
Identical twins?
Yes.
Who's older?
Me.
By how much?
5 minutes.
Who's bossier?
Joe.
Okay, all right, here's the story. You're not going to believe this story. All right, I'm going to bring this one forward. You explain the story.
We've been calling, trying to find their relatives. A lady, Mary Becker, who lives overseas, actually called Red Cross, listed them on Red Cross, and when they saw someone from Kentucky saw the picture of the boys on TV, they went online to Red Cross and found their names and got in touch with her, and she called me and told me what was going on. So from there, we were able to reach their family because they went back on Red Cross as well and found that they were here with me.
All right, and the family, you're the family.
Yes, I'm their auntie, Marilyn. I'm their mother's sister. We have been searching for them since Monday, the day of the storm. We've been looking for them. We're looking for their sister, Shaquita, as well. But we're so grateful to Miss Kelly for taking care of them. We are truly so grateful. And we just want to thank all of you all. I mean, for having us here. We just want you to know that there is hope, and just trust the Lord. And, you know, if you have any loved ones out there that's lost, maybe there'll be some person that's like this lady that's a hero that will get your family members to safety.
I just want to say one other thing. It is very important that everyone lists people on Red Cross, because this is the only way that they found them, other than Geraldo showing their picture on TV. It is very important for people to find their lost family members, and it really did help.
It really did.
Let me ask you, you see your mother tomorrow?
Yes.
Excited?
Yes.
Yeah. What about you?
Yes.
What about the baby?
I would love to see my baby brother too.
Okay. So what are you going to say to your mother when you see her?
I love her. I miss you, and I want that to happen again.
Tell us what you learned.
Never leave my mom.
Never leave your mom?
Yes.
All right, there, Geraldo, you have it. This picture that you showed, Geraldo, has made a very happy family.
Greta, thank you very much. Remember when Kennedy said, "Ich bin Berliners"? We're all Berliners. We're all from New Orleans now, ladies and gentlemen. Just think of it that way. Thank you very much for watching. Open your hearts. Let's pull together. Thanks for watching.
Metamucil presents The Regulars. Bob, Fred, Jack. Bob, Fred, Jack. Bob, Red, Jack. If you want to be one of the regulars, Bob, Red, Jack. Take Metamucil Daily Fiber every day to stay regular the natural way.
When you're a star like me, you just get treated differently.
Key to the minibar?
Ooh. They miniaturize an entire bar just for me.
Turn down service.
Fantastic. Somehow they know I like to sleep between the sheets. Even my independent insurance agent spoils me.
John, for you, the best policy is drive insurance from Progressive. I've compared a lot of them.
You see, he treats me like the Sultan of Mau.
Actually, I do it for everyone.
Of course you do.
To find an agent who'll take care of you, go to driveinsurance.com.
We use a lot of paper around here.
We print it,
Then copy it.
we file it,
And transfer it. We lose it.
found it, we process it, and turn it into more paper.
And we wonder why our information flow doesn't actually flow.
One company can uncomplicate your paper flow. Lexmark. We've designed smarter ways for the world's biggest businesses to print, move, and manage information. Go to lexmark.com and see how we can help yours uncomplicate.
Pro football. A game for the ear and the eye. A 3-hour carnival of color, sound, and action.
NFL Sunday Ticket provides the most NFL games anywhere, up to 200 in total, and it's only available from DirecTV.
For the player, victory makes the game glorious. For the fan, glory is the game.
Sign up now and get 4 free months of DirecTV's best programming package. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Tylenol Rapid Release Gels. Gel caps with specially designed holes to release powerful medicine even faster than before.
Tomorrow, the #1 primetime on all of cable news is all live on Labor Day with the latest from the Katrina disaster. With massive relief efforts underway, could this catastrophe get worse? We have the latest. Don't miss a minute of our live Labor Day Katrina coverage. At 8, get the latest updates as events unfold on the O'Reilly Factor. Then at 9, what happens next? It's a look at the future of the storm-battered region on Hannity and Combs. Plus at 10, our live coverage continues with late-breaking reports on the record.
Tonight, the rescues and recoveries continue in Katrina's deadly wake as the federal government sends out the big guns. Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice and Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld tour the zone. And tensions reach a boiling point on the streets. Reports of police shootings circulate through a city in ruins. And a grim prognosis emerges as officials fear Katrina's death toll could reach well into the thousands once the floodwaters recede. And in Washington, Chief Justice William Rehnquist succumbs to cancer as confirmation hearings for another Supreme Court vacancy loom. Good evening, everybody. I'm Julie Banderas in New York. More on the death of Chief Justice William Rehnquist later in this hour. But first, we turn to the city of New Orleans, where tonight officials contemplate the grim task of gathering their dead. What we've learned from all of these stories, hurricanes aren't all about the damage. They are about people and lives disrupted, especially in New Orleans. That's where Fox's Geraldo Rivera is standing by. Geraldo, you've been reporting on so many stories, some with happy endings, others ending in tragedy. What's the story tonight?
You know, Julie, the big story, I think, is that New Orleans has suffered 3 catastrophes. The first one was the hurricane. The second one was when the levee broke, flooding so much of the city, 75% of it, absolutely wiping out the livelihood of people whose homes were basically spared by the fury of the initial blast by Hurricane Katrina. And the third and probably the worst thing that befell this city was the chaos, the confusion, the anarchy, the violence that absolutely stripped it of its soul, of its humanity. And the city now is in shambles, and my heart is broken as I speak to you tonight. You know, there is the heartening news that the aid is finally pouring in and that people are being evacuated at a steady pace here at the convention center, the scene of so much horror over the course of this long and bitter week. Now people are being evacuated at a steady pace. One of those people and one of those happy endings, a 72-year-old lady, Florita Greaves, who called her friend, or a friend from Jackson, Mississippi, called her. To make a long story short, the word came to the Fox newsroom that there was a woman alone, still had not been heard from, and then she was in communication. She actually had an old-fashioned telephone that still worked despite the fact that there was no electricity. Now, there she goes. There goes Florita Greaves. Ladies and gentlemen of America, you're seeing that stranded lady, the lady who managed to call the Fox newsroom, and her dog, Dusty, she's going. She's the first online. She's being evacuated. She has the very next helicopter is hers. Bo Price, our security guy, is walking arm in arm. But I want to flash back to, that's the live shot now, flash back to when we got the call. We rushed to the other side of town. Her house was surrounded by 4 foot of that muckish, awful cesspool water, and we got her to come out, and it was so touching. We got the boat. The boat was provided from the Kentucky Fish and Wildlife Service. They had driven all night from the Bluegrass State, and we asked them, and there's an officer from the New Orleans Police Department came along. We rowed the boat the 4 blocks. I got a hold of Dusty. Dusty's 15 and a half years old. You know, he's a real, he's shaky, an old dog. But he finally came along. We got all of Florita's medicine together in her 2 bags. We got that boat ride. We finally got her here to the convention center, got her bags together, and now the United States Coast Guard helicopter has just landed, and Florita's soon going to be leaving. But the city that she's leaving behind is a mess. I think even to say it that way is not nearly sufficient. The city she's leaving behind is a wrecked, violent cesspool of a city. It's a city that's in flames and under chemical toxic waste. It's a city that I think is going to, in large part, have to be bulldozed before it can be built up again. It's a city that has witnessed so much violence, so much disorder, so much disruption, so many awful things happening, and in the midst of it all, the heroes, the men and women of the United States military, the Air Force, the Navy, the Marine Corps, the Army especially, the Reserves, the National Guard, all pitching in to help out.
And Geraldo, right now, I don't know if you see this, we're looking right now at a live picture in New Orleans, actually, a picture of a downed chopper. That is correct. This information is just coming in, a downed helicopter in New Orleans.
That's what that was.
And we're not sure exactly what this was, if it was a crash, what happened in this situation. Obviously, this is a helicopter that was meant to go in and rescue people, and these people who put their own lives at risk to go rescue those people.
Those are the colors of the United States Coast Guard.
Coast Guard, exactly.
Those are the colors of the United States Coast Guard.
So this
That's one
looks
of their
like
their big sea stallions.
And they've been having these flying overhead trying to rescue people.
It doesn't look broken up.
Right now, we don't know if anybody survived.
It's dangerous flying, Julie. It's amazing. It doesn't. I'm looking closely. It doesn't look as if the cockpit is broken up. It looks like it was a hard landing, but it looks like it's right side up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, but we don't see anybody rushing right now to the scene, so apparently this must have just happened and emergency crews must be on their way. But these helicopters, Geraldo, you've been seeing them flying overhead trying to rescue people stuck on their roofs.
This is such dangerous flying. It's definitely the colors of the United States Coast Guard. You see live another of the rescue choppers coming in. So I don't know what disaster has befallen that particular chopper, but the flying has been so very, very difficult. I'm only praying to God, Julie. I'm only praying to God that it wasn't a sniper, that it wasn't one of these mindless acts of violence. You know, there have been reports of shootings. I just hope it's not that. But
actually, Geraldo, we do have I got some good news for you, Geraldo. Let me tell you something. The crew has been evacuated from that helicopter safely. They are injured, but everybody survived miraculously. I mean, you're looking at this video, too. Isn't that amazing?
Great. It is unbelievable.
And these are just preliminary reports, not confirmed.
Coast Guard chopper.
Yeah, but so far, preliminary reports say that they did survive.
It doesn't look like a fatal accident.
Well, like you said, the cockpit there intact.
I hope it's right. Yeah, I hope it's right. It's on its side, and the blade, you know, I've owned helicopters for many years. The blade, the rotating blade, is what chops up the bird and hurts the people. All that torque, it looks like it broke off into the muck, and the cockpit itself seems intact. So I believe, and I want very much to believe, that the crew, if not walking away from that, would not be injured too terribly severely. But Clarita now is on the bird, and you know, so you have to take your. Oh no, there she is. She's just getting on that far bird. I see. It's here over there with.
And hopefully she flies away
she's finally
safely.
Getting on.
All right, Geraldo.
All right.
Geraldo, great stories that you've been telling us, and hopefully we will be getting more information, more positive news regarding that helicopter crash. And like Geraldo mentioned, let's just pray to God this wasn't a sniper. There were reports in New Orleans once this whole rescue operation started that people were actually shooting their guns up at helicopters, seizing rescue operations for hours, even possibly up to 2 days. Let's just pray to God that that is not the case here. Now, by this time tomorrow night, some 30,000 National Guard troops from around the country are expected to arrive in Louisiana to join people like the Coast Guard and the National Guard already there trying to help these people stuck in their homes. Fox's Bill Hemmer got an exclusive first look at the main staging area for the Guard units. He joins us now from Baton Rouge. Bill?
Hey, Julie, good evening to you, and listening to you and Geraldo talk about that Coast Guard story. This time yesterday, the Coast Guard was saying that it already had rescued 9,500 people. They were saying here in Baton Rouge that they had saved 9,500 lives in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. That was yesterday, and we do know a number of people still were being plucked from homes earlier today. Not in great numbers based on what we could see, but still they were being found there in the flooded streets of New Orleans. I'm in Baton Rouge, and we spent the day essentially trying to figure out what's happening in the surrounding parishes around New Orleans. So much attention, Julie, has been given to this city, and rightfully so. The human drama there that plays out day after day and hour after hour has been nothing short of dramatic. But what we wanted to find out earlier today was what's happening in these low-lying areas. A place called Plaquemines Parish. That's the southeastern corner of Louisiana. If you look at it on the map, it's kind of like that finger or that hand that juts off from the Gulf Coast. On the screen there, you will see the parish is literally divided in two by the Mississippi River. What we found there was oil refineries still underwater, mile after mile, home after home, structure after structure still underwater there. What we did not find, though, is anybody still around. And 30,000 residents claim this to be their home in southeastern Louisiana. Brigadier General Hunt Downer is with us. He's with the National Guard in Louisiana, and he took us along for a ride today. Here is what we found when we put that Black Hawk helicopter down on top of a levee right along the Mississippi River.
We literally flew for half an hour.
Yeah.
Up and down the Mississippi River, and this is the scene that we see over and over and over.
And what
again.
will have to happen, rescue, as the water recedes, maybe the road will become impassable, and then rescuers will start going to those houses and check each one to make sure there's nobody in there.
When do you have any idea when a process like that can begin?
It's beginning, but in the higher areas. As you got to work down, because here it's boat. Now they'll come down working grid coordinates with airboats, because that'll get in where it's shallow, where it's deep. We're probably the first people since the hurricane to be down this way, or at least to land here.
This is a levee.
Levee.
This was designed to keep the water out.
Yes, sir.
And what happened when the surge came from the storm, it just completely topped this levee.
Well, if you
submerged this place.
It just happens the way it is here. If you can look, it's kind of the grass is peeled back on one side where it was topped. So it came over, obviously, with some force or some current.
Do you know if anyone has been able to get down here and look for people?
Yes, they have.
When did that start then?
Oh, immediately. As the storm went out.
Because we haven't seen anyone in the flight over here.
Well, this parish was pretty much about 90-95% evacuated. It had a good response.
Rob, I don't know if you can look at past this here, but this home is just one of hundreds and hundreds that we have seen. Power lines down. This was obviously a road at some point.
Yes.
No litter zone, speed limit 35.
Litter, speed limit 35. Another road, speed limit 15, so a street off of this main road. I mean, listen to it. You don't hear anything. Notice what's even absent? The chirp of the birds. Everything's gone.
It is so quiet there, almost eerie, almost lonely to be there earlier today. And General Downer, here is a man who has 4 feet of standing water in his own home, but yet the process for him and thousands of others continues in Louisiana tonight. The president is in the region tomorrow. We'll be here to watch his trip, his return trip to the Gulf Coast on Monday. Julie, back to you in New York.
All right, Bill Hemmer, thanks so much reporting from Baton Rouge. Also in Baton Rouge is Fox's Molly Henneberg. She is live at the River Center in Louisiana. That's the city's main shelter. Molly, you've been telling us incredible stories about even children who have been separated from their families. One little girl in particular that really got to me. Has she heard anything at all?
Not yet, but we're keeping in touch with that little girl, and we're going to let you know as soon as we find out. Andrea Walls is her name. We're going to find out when she gets in touch with her parents. But right now we're with Baton Rouge Mayor Kip Holden. How do you think the conditions are here at the River Center?
The conditions are fine. What we do every day personally is go and check on everyone, try to assess the conditions and see what else we could do to make them comfortable. Yesterday there were some people without cots. Last night we brought those in. There were others who were complaining about a lack of towels. We got those in. So we're working to try to make life a lot better.
And you have a special guest tomorrow. Who's coming and what should he see?
John Travolta is coming in tomorrow. We will take a look at both what's happening in Baton Rouge.
The big guest, the big guest.
Oprah will be here.
No, the president.
Oh, yeah, look, I got the president too, so tomorrow is quite big.
The president of the United States is coming. What does he need to see?
The president needs to see the coordination or lack of coordination on the part of some of the things that have happened in regards to this disaster. At the same time, now we're watching whereby the federal government is coming in. Secretary Leavitt was in today dealing with basic issues, dealing with health and services that they provide. Now we have the president coming in, so he'll get a first-hand look and hear where the system had some breakdowns and then move towards, hopefully, an action plan to deal with this unfortunate event in case it happens somewhere else.
All right, thank you, Mayor Kip Holden, for joining us today. Now we have Reverend Albert White, who's with Abundant Love Ministries, and he says he's trying to provide some fun for some people here. What are you doing for some people inside there?
Yes, what we're going to be doing tomorrow night, we're going to host a tea party. We had like an 80-year-old woman at our church service this morning, and so she said she wanted to have a tea party. So tomorrow night we'll have a tea party tomorrow night.
And you're doing something for birthdays too.
Yes, then Thursday we'll have a birthday party for everyone that birthdays in the month of September. And then tonight we're going to have a church service and a gospel concert right here on the grounds in the Red Stick Room at 8 o'clock p.m. Then Tuesday night we're taking everyone to the bowling alley.
You are doing great things to bring in some fun. Let me just bring in some kids real quick. Show me your artwork. Show me your artwork. Come on. These kids have been coloring all day long and they want to show us artwork here. So we have a bunch of budding artists, and I just want to show you what they've been spending their time doing today, and that's providing a little art. So Julie, you get a sense of what the kids are doing here. They've been coloring today, and it's bringing some joy and a little bit of color to our little workspace here.
All right.
Julie, back to you.
Molly Henneberg, thank you so much for reporting in Baton Rouge. She has been mentioning all day donations, including children's books, are needed, and that is why at least they've got some coloring crayons and some books. All right, well, when we come back, with almost 400,000 people left homeless by this storm, fellow Americans are offering shelter to Katrina's victims. An incredible story of hope for a family who lost everything. When the big story continues in just a moment.
Airbags, anti-lock brakes, seat belts. There's still one safety feature missing. Every car needs a tire gauge.
Mario Andretti and Firestone remind you.
Check your tires.
12 years of marriage and she never let me touch them.
I hated my dry, cracked feet. Then my podiatrist recommended Carousel.
Dual-acting Carousel exfoliates and moisturizes.
With Carousel, we both love my soft feet.
Renew your feet with Carousel.
He's a simple guy.
This is your thing?
With a wonderful life.
She doesn't know you pay for all this. We don't talk about it.
And one big secret.
Selling guns is like selling vacuum cleaners. You pound the pavement. Can you bring me the gun of Rambo? Part 1, 2, or 3.
Nicolas Cage.
Is everything okay?
Rough day at the office.
Lord of War.
We're at the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Let me guess, this isn't about the alcohol or the tobacco.
Rated R. In theaters everywhere, September 16.
Cosmetic procedures?
why bother? For you, there's Olay Regenerist. With its immunopeptide complex, you get significant improvement at the cellular level. Women who use Regenerist may find they've lost interest in cosmetic procedures. Significant improvement for eyes, too, with Regenerist Eye Serum.
Pro football. A game for the ear and the eye. A 3-hour carnival of color, sound, and action.
NFL Sunday Ticket provides the most NFL games anywhere, up to 200 in total, and it's only available from DirecTV.
For the player, victory makes the game glorious. For the fan, glory is the game.
Sign up now and get 4 free months of DirecTV's best programming package. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Hard Times. Home of the best rock videos on television. All of your favorite rock videos in one place. If you listen to rock radio, Hard Times is required viewing. If you're not watching, you're missing out. Experience Hard Times for yourself.
Wherever you are, wherever you go.
Hi, Grandma and Grandpa. I'm engaged. We're planning on sometime next summer, and I can't wait to see you guys there. Love you.
Be there without going there. Comcast high-speed internet, faster than DSL with video mail included free. No wonder more people choose Comcast. Call 1-888-COMCAST today.
So far, we're okay. We need blankets. We don't have enough blankets. We need toiletry items, formula for babies. Other than that, we're doing good.
Tonight, thousands of displaced people continue to pour into neighboring Texas, but aid centers there are nearing their limit. With almost 250,000 refugees already there, some may now have to be airlifted to other states. Fox's Alicia Acuna is at the Astrodome in Houston with much more. Alicia?
Hi, Julie. Yes, the Texas National Guard is leading an effort that actually begins tonight to airlift some of the evacuees to neighboring states. A number of states have answered the call by Texas Governor Rick Perry to assist in this effort. Other states also opening their doors. There is something that we do want to touch upon here, and that is the element of faith. It is really something that cannot be ignored in this situation. It is something that is questioned, and it is something that is tested. Well, there are some answers coming out of the Astrodome today. I had the opportunity to have a conversation with Pastor Kendall Baker. He is a gentleman who is wandering inside and outside of the Astrodome today, and he is breaking out into a spontaneous prayer with many of the evacuees, and they are all joining in. People come in small crowds as they pray together, something that the people here feel is definitely needed, some healing words that they are hearing here despite all of the devastation and the loss that they have experienced. Now, continuing with that theme, I want to introduce you to Sandra Bass. She is with the South Texas Assemblies of God, and many of the churches in the Texas area have joined in the shelter effort. It is not just the county alone, not just the state alone. The church is definitely a big part of this. They have taken in quite a few people, and she does have a message today. Sandra, we were talking earlier about how it is that you are helping. What is it that you need?
Well, we have thousands and thousands of people that are not just here in the Astrodome, but that are all over our communities. They are in our church gyms. They're in the homes of our parishioners. They are in our hotels. And they, of course, do not have the cash to come up with all the things that they need all of a sudden. So we're asking ladies, we're asking people all over the nation if they will send to us gift cards like gas cards, Exxon and Shell. If they'll send us gift cards to Walmart and to fast food restaurants that you would find in every area. These people are mobile. They got out before the storm, but they're here and they're in need, and we can help them if people would send us those things instead of worrying about sending big shipments of trucks of toilet paper. This would be a thing we could just hand them a gift card, and then they can go and take care of things that they need.
Okay, thank you very much, Sandra. And we have a phone number that you can call to get that address, and that is 713-455-1221. Trying to help out all we can. Julie, back to you.
you.
All right, Alicia Cunha live in Houston. Thanks so much. Well, after meeting the immediate life and death needs of Katrina's victims comes the massive task of finding long-term shelter for the almost 400,000 people left homeless by the storm. It's a housing problem of epic proportions, but Americans across the country are answering the call. Fox's Rebecca Gomez has more.
Julie, Americans have always helped out in disasters, volunteering their time and efforts and opening their wallets. This time, they're also opening the doors to their homes to give the victims of Hurricane Katrina a safe, dry place to stay. Americans are offering their homes through websites, toll-free numbers, flyers, news outlets, and their elected officials. ShareYourHome.org, based in Shreveport, Louisiana, is one of them. Volunteers can also sign up on the website, and there's a toll-free number, 888-827-2525. The alternate number is 225-765-4568. Another place you can go is hurricanehousing.org. Their toll-free number is 800-638-4559. For people who need a home and those willing to donate one, here are two more websites, welcomewagon.com and openyourhome.com. Also log on to homeflood.org. The website is a much-needed database to help relief workers match the homeless with those donating homes. And finally, two more resources to find a home or to provide one for hurricane victims. Check out NOLA.com and KatrinaHousing.org. NOLA.com is a New Orleans website that, in addition to housing, provides a help center to locate missing persons. We'll continue to show you more websites and telephone numbers here on Fox News Channel as more people open their hearts and homes to the victims of Hurricane Katrina. If you have housing information that we can pass along to those in need, please email us at comments@foxnews.com, and we'll be sure to share that information with you. Back to you, Julie.
All right, Rebecca, thank you. Well, joining me now in Birmingham, Alabama is Nicole Morgan. She opened her home and heart to a family who evacuated from Mississippi, two members of that displaced family, Jennifer Soler, and we can hear your 3-month-old daughter, Heaven, joining us now as well. Thanks so much, all of you, for talking to us tonight.
You're very welcome.
Jennifer, first to you, you escaped quite a horror, and on top of it with a 3-month-old baby girl. Tell me how scary this has been for you, and more importantly now, how grateful you are to the Morgan family.
Well, it's been very scary because of the baby, first and foremost, but I'm very grateful to Nicole because she just took us in, didn't know us from Adam. We could have been anybody. We could have come in, tried to hurt them. We could have just been using the hurricane as a ploy. You never know what people are going to do nowadays. But she opened her heart and she opened her mind, and her husband as well, and they brought us in, me and my daughter and my mother, who was back at the house, and made us very comfortable and gave us a run of the place and let us just basically, whatever it took to make us comfortable, that's what they did for us, and we're more than grateful for that.
And Jennifer, you have no
we could have
idea.
Been in the street with,
you have no idea what happened to your home either. For all you know, your home could be demolished.
No. Yeah, we haven't seen any anything at all as far as Waveland Avenue where we lived, or we haven't seen a house or anything. I don't know if anything's left at all. I left my vehicle in the garage, and we haven't seen anything. We don't know anything.
Nicole, you and your husband have certainly committed such a heroic act here, and you were not a family who is overly wealthy. You were a family, an average family that needs to make ends meet as well, and here you go taking in a mother and her child. What inspired you to come forward and do this?
I don't think that I needed a whole lot of inspiration. I think that it's the sheer fact that this could have happened to anybody. You don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to be wealthy. You do not have to own a mansion. All you need is an extra room. You don't need extra income. These folks are more than willing to help you when they get to your home. Jennifer has been outstanding. She's offered any resource she had already to help us out. You really don't need that much. All you need is an open heart. And actually, I think it's more of a blessing to us, because having Heaven in the house, having Jennifer, just having more life, feeling that we're doing something is more than we could have asked for. It's more of a blessing for us.
And your husband Dave owns a restaurant, and Jennifer, like many people who were displaced from the Gulf Coast states, no longer have jobs. So what is your husband going to do for Jennifer?
Well, my husband owns a Zaxby's restaurant that's located on Atlanta Highway, and Montgomery, Alabama, and he's going to give her a job, whatever she'd like to do there, as soon as she wants to come to work, and there's no pressure at all. She can come whenever she wants.
And it's incredible because many people like Jennifer just want to get back to a normal life, and if that means having a job, no matter what it is, washing dishes, I'm sure you'd be grateful to do that. A small payback.
That's
Absolutely.
right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Well, Nicole, Jennifer, and Little Heaven, thanks so much for being here, and good luck to all of you. And when we come back, we'll go live to New Orleans for the very latest on the relief and recovery efforts as the city struggles to account for its living and bury its dead.
I just wanted to tell her, start crying, wipe your face. I'm all right.
Prudential Real Estate, we've teamed up with Yahoo to create a more powerful way to find a home. Yahoo Real Estate connects you to Prudential Real Estate offices with more than 1 million properties online and markets from coast to coast. You'll find more facts and photos to help you explore the properties you like. And when you're ready, you're one click away from a Prudential Real Estate sales professional who can make home buying and selling a snap. Prudential Real Estate and Yahoo together, the perfect way to find the perfect home.